Winter prose. It is in the middle of winter. Snow alternates with warm winds, and ice with mud. The footpaths are impassable. One is cut off from the immediate neighbour. The lake produces a white steam on cold mornings and forms crusty, glass-like rimes of ice. However, on the next day, the lake again looks dark and alive in the warm wind and turns blue toward the east, as in the most beautiful spring days. I sit in my well-heated study, read irrelevant books, write irrelevant articles, and have irrelevant thoughts. In the end, somebody has to read all those things which are written and published all year long, and because nobody is doing it, I'm doing it, partly out of interest, partly out of collegiality, partly to be a critical protection and buffer between the public and the avalanche of books. Many of these books are actually beautiful and intelligent and worth reading. In spite of that, my activities seem to me be totally superfluous, and my intentions directed to absolutely wrong goals. As the years have gone by, the winters here in the south have become unbearable to me in spite of the beloved, beautiful sun. The rainy seasons are depressing, freezing through 4 winters during the time of inflation. I sat here in front of a tiny fire in the fireplace and ruined my health forever. Since then, and since I have money again, I go away during the winter, not to see more pleasant lands that do not exist, not to experience new attractions of city folks, but I travel to warm springs. I travel to cities where I find well-fitting doors and windows, heated wooden floors, good stoves, where there is a doctor and a masseur, and while I try to endure my winter pains with their help, good things come my way. Visits with friends, good music, browsing in libraries and galleries. I live in the city then, and all kinds of people come to see me, although I'm hard to find. Unknown painters visit me with big portfolios of amazing drafts. Also young, self-confident people who have studied philosophy and want to write a dissertation about me, which they actually do. Without scruple, they tear a work of mine of 35 years into little shreds and receive doctoral hats on their smart heads from their faculty for doing so. Once each year, I let myself be persuaded to a trip in a pretty city, hungry for culture. There I get travel money and an honorarium. A local expert shows me the historical buildings and the other sites. And in return, I have to read my poems for a whole evening to strangers in some unpleasant hall. And each time I do it with a feeling of never again. There is nothing more miraculous, more noble, and more beautiful in this whole wide world than the sun in the high mountains in winter. Reflected by snow, ice and rock, light and warmth playfully dance in the indescribably transparent air of winter. A light and a radiance of a very fine, tender, dry warmth, of which the valley, even on the most sun-filled days, has no idea.